It's Saturday. All right. Motherfuckers, it's a bonus episode.
Woo! Bonus!
Skirt, skirt.
Skirt, skirt. Yep. We are hitting you with the bonus episode. You
It's
know,
a bonus. It's a 2 for. It's a round 2.
It's a gift to you because we've been gone.
Exactly. This is all because I have nothing to do with my life, so I decided to do this.
So guys, mainly Myra's gonna be talking. I'm just gonna do the gas,
chest clenching, the pearl clenching.
Yes, the whole episode. So I get to sit back and relax while Myra.
Yeah, while I serenade you with my sexy voice.
Uh-oh.
All right, so I took a deep dive, maybe a ponder, a swim in the
Lady pond.
Ma'am, no. So I started looking for like spooky stories, like things that just really like creep me out, anything that had to do with like, cause like scary stories I can read about, but it's just not, it doesn't fulfill me. It doesn't please me in the way that murder does.
Excuse me.
So I
had
podcast. So I had to look for something that like included murder, but something spooky at the same time. So what is better than a murder, an exorcism, possession, demonic possession, all of that rolled into one case, ma'am? What is better?
I don't have to go stay the night at my mother's house and sleep in her bed.
You might. Look, I took a shot of holy water before coming over here. So I'm going to take a shot before I go to bed as well. So this is the case, well, the true story behind the Exorcism of Emily Rose.
Hey, I have that on DVD somewhere.
I've never seen it, and I will pass on that.
Sure? Because we can watch it after this, bro. I guess not.
Oh, we'll get back to you. So this is the case of Anna Elisabeth Michel. So she's actually German. This name kind of confused me a little bit. But we're going to just call her Anna. A lot of places called her Michelle, but I feel like that's her last name. So
is it?
I mean, the way that they put it is Anna Elisabeth Michel. So I'm going to call her Anna. I'm sorry. I'm a real quick. Because this is scary. Okay, so Anna was born on September 21st, 1952 in Bavaria, West Germany. Now, the events leading up to her death in 1976 would become the inspiration for the 2013 movie, The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
That movie was whack, though.
Was it?
Yeah.
I never saw it.
It's not scary.
I had no interest. I don't know. So she and her 3 sisters were raised in a very religious Roman Catholic household, attending Mass twice a week, which is wild. And she actually believed that it was her burden to pay for the sins of others. She would sleep on a stone floor as a form of penance. So...
Go ahead.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something.
No, I'm going to reserve that for my own thoughts.
So when she was 16, she experienced her first recorded seizure. She was diagnosed with epileptic psychosis, which is temporal lobe epilepsy, shortly after. 2 years later, in June 1970, Anna suffered from her 3rd seizure at a psychiatric hospital she was staying at. So since her very first seizure when she was 16, she had been diagnosed with depression and was being treated at that hospital for it. It was after this 3rd seizure that Anna was prescribed anti-convulsion drugs for the first time, neither of which helped. So, like, she was taking a multiple cocktail of these anti-convulsion drugs.
Let me guess, her family's blaming the devil for her.
Well, we'll get into it.
All right.
So Anna started saying she was seeing devil faces not long after starting these medications. That same month, she began taking the anti-convulsion meds she was prescribed, which was Aolept. And it was used to treat schizophrenia, disturbed behaviors, and delusions. So she just had like everything all combined, all together, at all times. Ultimately, Anna would suffer from psychosis, depression, schizophrenia, and a series of other mental health issues.
Wow.
She had it all at once. This poor girl, look, this case is sad. So obviously being super religious and perhaps not fully understanding what was actually happening to her physically as well as mentally, Anna became convinced she was possessed. At first, her parents and even priest, she had begged to perform exorcisms on her, doubted that this was actually happening, and the doctors as well as her family actually decided to keep going with the medical treatments. They were like, yeah, you're not possessed. There's something mentally wrong with you. You need to go to a doctor.
Oh, wow.
So surprisingly, her parents weren't just like, oh, she's possessed by a demon. But Anna's physical and mental health kept getting worse. Her behavior soon became too much for even her parents to explain. Anna began becoming intolerant of religious objects. She was unable to walk past crucifixes, and during a pilgrimage to a Christian site, she refused to drink from a holy spring. She would hallucinate while praying, complained about constant voices in her head, telling her that she was damned and would rot in hell. At one point, she stopped eating food and began eating insects, coal, and would even drink her own urine off the floor.
Insects and coal?
Insects, coal, and her own urine.
I guess she gotta wash them down with something.
Holy water, maybe? She was also self-harming. So at this point, it had been 5 years of psychiatric hospitals, long-term medication, depression. Everything was just getting worse. Nothing was actually helping, and her mental state was quickly deteriorating. Anna's mother, who for so long had denied her daughter's possession allegations, began to believe that maybe Anna was possessed, at one point even claiming to have witnessed a stigmata appear on her daughter's hand. So what is a stigmata, Nia? Do you know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn, I didn't know.
You didn't?
No, I didn't know until I saw this.
Okay. Let me pull out my old Catholic school remembrance here.
I didn't go to Catholic school.
I went briefly, but stigmata. So remember when, you know how Jesus was hung on the cross and he was stabbed?
I know now.
Okay, well, fine.
Go ahead. I was going to explain it, but go ahead.
Yeah, so, for those of you who don't know, when he was hung on the cross, they did put nails through the palms of his hands and through his foot. So stigmata is when someone starts bleeding from the very same sites that Jesus was hammered through.
So it's bodily wounds, scars, or pain in locations corresponding to the crucifixion of Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, also a lot of people don't know he was stabbed under the rib, and sometimes people exhibit that too.
Look, I have never read the Bible. I have no knowledge of this.
History Channel, bro.
Look, never mind. I'm not going to get into it.
That's how I learned most of it.
So Anna's mother began consulting several priests, asking them to help Anna, but the priests declined over and over again, recommending the family continue with the same medical treatments that were actually not helping. So that was until they met priest Ernst Alt. At first glance, Alt said Anna did not look like an epileptic, like a typical epileptic person or whatever. Okay. So I saw pictures, which I will show you afterwards. The pictures showed a ghoulish-looking girl, highly malnourished, with black eyes, bruises all over her body. See, she actually looked like what you see in the Holocaust victims.
Oh, like the malnourished ones?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, she looks... It's very, it's traumatizing and creepy. So, Priest Alt became convinced that Anna was possessed by a demon and urged a local bishop, who was the only one with the power to allow said exorcism.
Yo!
Yeah, are you looking at the pictures?
Yeah, why you tell me?
I'm sorry. Are you traumatized?
Poor thing.
It is y'all need to look. If you're... Just look it up. It is insane.
Dang.
Yes. So a bishop apparently is the only one allowed to go ahead and say hey, yeah, she needs an exorcism, perform it on her. So in September of 1975, Bishop Joseph Stengel granted priest Arnold Renz permission to exorcise Anna, but ordered it be done under total secrecy. So this guy, Arnold Renz, as well as Ernst Alt, would be the ones performing the exorcism. So from 1975 until her death in 1976, a total of 67 exorcisms were performed on Anna. 1 or 2 per week, each one lasting up to 4 hours.
What?
So 67 exorcisms in 1 year were performed on this girl, during which time she had stopped eating. She was only eating insects and stuff. She was self-harming. She wasn't drinking water. She was just like basically a corpse.
Wow.
So Anna Elizabeth Michelle died on July 1st, 1976 from malnutrition and dehydration. She had been in a semi-starvation state for almost a whole year. She weighed 68 pounds, suffered from fractured teeth, bones, broken knees due to continuous genuflections, which are bending the knee. Shout out Game of Thrones. Like you would in church. So she was like kneeling constantly.
Oh yeah, they probably forced her to pray
and all that
yeah.
shit. Yeah, making it impossible for her to move without assistance. She had also contracted pneumonia at some point, or
poor
at multiple
thing.
points. So, Anna's parents, as well as the priests who performed these exorcisms, were charged with negligent homicide. The state prosecutor maintained that Anna's death could have been prevented even 1 week before she died, but I'm not sure how true that is because her malnourishment was so bad that, like, you know where it gets to the point where, like, people are so malnourished that, like, even if you try to save them, you'll just kill them quick.
Oh, yeah. You have to slowly...
like
start them
them
eating
onto
again,
the,
food again, yeah.
I just feel like she was at the point where it's just like nothing could help her.
Oh, poor thing.
During the trial, tapes of Anna's exorcism were played during the trial, and there were demons. The said demons living inside Anna actually argued on tape. Both of the priests on trial testified each demon identified themselves, some of which were Lucifer, Cain, Judas Iscariot, Hitler, and Nero, among others. There were a bunch. Hitler.
Yo, she had all the crazy people. Okay, sorry, that's not right. But, like...
she had all the demons.
I didn't know you could be possessed by multiple demons. I always thought it was, like, one or, whatever.
Yep. A doctor testified that Anna was actually not possessed, but due to her strict religious beliefs and mixed with the severe epilepsy, depression, and even bipolar disorder, she herself couldn't explain what was going on inside of her. She couldn't explain the bipolar, multi-personality. She couldn't explain the depression. She couldn't explain schizophrenia. So the only way she could find to explain said things occurring to her was religion. Demons. Wow. The things she knew the best. So... like, when she said she was possessed herself, this doctor said it's the only way she knows how to explain what's happening. She doesn't know what's going on. So, in the end, Anna's mother, father, and both priests were found guilty of manslaughter resulting from negligence and were sentenced to 6 months in jail and 3 years probation, although the jail time was later suspended.
Wow.
And that is the true story behind the case of Emily Rose.
Okay, so I didn't realize that. Okay, so while you were telling the story, it was starting to come back to me. But it's ridiculous. I think from what I've seen on like documentaries or shows about this, like, there's only certain priests that are allowed to do exorcism. And I think they tell them you can only do it but so many times in a row. Like, you have to space it out. So the fact that they did that many in that short period of time. So
this case took me into a lot of rabbit holes. Okay. One of which is the actual, like, instructions for bishops, priests, whatever, to perform these exorcisms. So they have to suffer from a certain symptoms, in quotes, of, like, demon possession, and they have to follow certain rules while exercising them. What I read, it didn't have like a certain number. It was just like you perform these tasks until the demon is out.
Right.
So clearly for them, and like in the end, these priests performing these exorcisms believed that just before she died, these demons exited her body, and that's why she died. It was just like her body was just basically a vessel for these demons, and when they exited, she was no longer needed, so she died. So it's just like for them, it was just kind of like they were just doing what they needed.
Wow.
And I mean, not to like go to defend anybody or whatever, but it's just like seeing as how you're raised in this Catholic religion and you don't know anything else. And obviously we know that like in a lot of religious households, mental health is very taboo.
Yeah. Because they associate it with demons and stuff.
Exactly.
That's the old way of thinking.
And even herself, like her mom thought like, hey, maybe she does have something. And herself, she couldn't explain what was going on to her, like with her, within her. So it's just like, what else do you do?
Right. Right.
It was like a wild case. Wild. And I feel like
that is crazy.
I feel like this true story is a lot worse than even like the movie pans it out to be. Because this girl suffered for a long time.
I just didn't know there were actual photos of her. So when you told me to look it up, I was just like, yeah.
Apparently there's like tapes and all that, which I didn't want. There's like a YouTube.
I don't want to see that.
don't. Yeah.
Because
when I started reading about this, I was just like, God, please don't.
If y'all listen to the previous episode, you would know why I don't want to watch it. Like, I always clown people who feel like, oh, you shouldn't watch certain things because, like, the demons can get you through the TV and stuff. But I still feel like some stuff can give off a certain vibe. And if that was a real situation, I do feel like fictional shows, I don't believe that. But like real stuff, it's a possibility. Yep. Nope.
Like trying to find this case, I went into like, we just watched an episode of Ghost Adventures where they went to this like Isla de las Muñecas, which is like a doll island in Mexico. And basically there's like this doll called Harold the Doll. And he has like a history behind him like as a doll. And I started reading it and I was just like, you know what? Bless your heart. I'm not going to go into this. Because I'm not going to doubt your powers or whatever. I'm just like, stay over there. On the internet. Like, it's just, yeah. I went into a deep rabbit hole trying to find these cases.
I'm sorry.
But it's fine. It's fine, I'm just possessed.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us on this bonus episode.
We'll be back soon.
Yes, make sure to follow us on all platforms. Email us if you have anything to tell us at AntiSocialMurderClub@gmail.com. Yes, ghost stories will be dope. Make sure you tweet us at, what is it?
AS Murder Club.
Yeah.
On Twitter.
On Twitter. We can be found on Facebook and
Instagram.
Yep.
Apple Podcasts. SoundCloud.
YouTube.
Basically, we're everywhere.
Yep. And
we're all around you.
Yeah. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, definitely, though, because we give updates there, as well as Instagram. And make sure, you tweet us or email us your ideas, feedback, all of that.
Thank you for listening.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.